Hello and welcome to a Q&A session with a difference, for I'm joined by the Hublets this time. And the members of YouTube and Patreon were invited to ask questions. And it seems only the YouTube ones wanted to ask you questions, but, you know, Patreons, we're not holding that against you.
We're not loved.
We will do some Q&As, just me and Miss Hubnet, a bit later on. But I'm going to go through and start with a question from Frank Voltius. Over in, are you Germany or the Netherlands? I can never remember. But either way, he says, I would love to hear from a mini Miss Hubnet or little Miss Hubnet about her experiences with her driving lessons. Take it away.
It's been okay.
It has. Yeah, it's been an interesting experience for both of us.
I mean, most of the time I've actually done really well.
Yeah.
Because it basically comes natural to me. That sounds so...
Oh, okay. Strong.
That's, but yeah. I like going fast in cars, so that's quite hard for me to do.
Yeah, because it's like 20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour around here. That's not fast.
But I have had probably about 2 really bad things happen. Not really bad. One really bad
If you haven't hit anything, it's not bad.
I have hit one thing, the curb. Do you not remember?
Oh, we nudged the curb very briefly.
Okay. But there was also that time when there were temporary traffic lights. Yeah,
we did have an incident. We were caught out. We didn't know they were there. Temporary traffic lights on a hill, which
it's
if you're
really steep hill in Wales
quite new to driving, is not good times. I did have to take over for that one, but aside from that, you've done very well.
Yeah.
So we just need to do more of it. Maybe this weekend we need to cram a lesson in somewhere. Frederick Larson. How is it to be Mini Hubnet and Little Miss Hubnet and suddenly have a mum who is also rather suddenly become famous? So what's it like now your mum's famous? I mean, you're famous as well. Is it good to have a famous mum?
Yeah, it's pretty alright.
Pretty alright.
Quite nice.
And of course, you've been meeting people at shows as well.
Yeah.
Notably Rustival. And we're doing a second Rustival, if you haven't heard the news already, later in the year. So, yeah, it's been an interesting time for both of you, I think.
Yeah, sometimes we do get asked in school even about like, oh, we've seen blah, blah, blah video and asks about like Hubnet and our mum.
There we go. And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
Nah.
You got to say that.
Like,
it is a good thing.
And like people just coming up to me.
Some people do come up
What,
and
even
say
your
that.
friends at school?
No, my friends at school are fine, but like small like year 7s just coming up to me in school.
Oh, not year 7s. Ew.
Yeah, some people are like...
This is what happens when you get to the other end of school. Obviously, you hate the younger children. It's the law of school.
Yeah, but they like... It's really funny sometimes because none of the people on my bus ever sit at the back of the bus. They're too scared of the sixth formers, which is funny.
I'd be scared, to be honest.
They don't want to sit next to me because I'm a sixth former. They were fine last year when they didn't realise I was year 11.
But now you are all powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things change. I remember school well. It was a long time ago. Frank Welter said more. He's in Sweden, by the way. No, Frederick Larson, sorry, for said more. When Miss Hubnet entered the channel and the couple stopped hiding their bickering, this channel went from really good to the best. Oh, well, thank you very much. I really hope Little Miss Hubnet and Mini Hubnet will add their flavours to it in the future. I'm sure they will. But for now, school, education, important. S. Rich GTR says, for the Hublets, once you have passed your driving tests, which cars will you be wanting to drive of the existing fleet?
Ellie.
Excellent. You have both driven a 2CV already, of course.
I'm going to go out there. Tuck.
Oh, okay. Yep, that will definitely be an experience for you. But if you do it fairly early on, you'll probably be all right. The more driving you've done, the scarier Tuck gets because she's so different to everything else. Sam Ayers 2670. What car would you like to see join the fleet next? Well, you're delighted we've got a Smart. No. So if I hadn't got the Smart, what would you have preferred? Vauxhall Zafira? No, not the Vauxhall Zafira.
I mean, I'd say an Aventine, personally.
Oh, yeah, Renault Aventine. Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
At all?
No.
Oh, okay. Not even a McLaren?
Oh, a McLaren.
Someone seems to be getting into F1 of late.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, what does Little Miss Hubnet want for her first car after she passes her test? Probably not a McLaren, I'm going to say.
No, because I'm not allowed.
No. Also, no chance of affording it.
My first car.
Nice, sensible first car.
I don't know. Because, I don't know.
Pressure's on. There's a lot of cars out there, you see. But you got to think, it's got to be something practical that you can actually get insurance on.
Probably a Renault Clio, though.
Oh, Renault Clio? Yeah, okay,
'cause
good choice.
There's that whole thing of, in England, they call
That's
me
how
Clio
people-
because
that's
they
how
can't
people say your
pronounce my
name.
name
Yeah, yeah.
properly.
There we go, could be fitting. And what you fancy for your first car when you're older?
First car.
No Lotus Carlton as your first car.
Probably the Mark 1 Renault Twingo.
Okay, we've got a bit of Renault love with the Hublets there. Mark 1 Twingos are awesome things.
No,
So you're going to pass your test and immediately get a left-hand drive car.
Yep. Gonna pass
Excellent.
my test. Go to France. Get a Twingo. Then drive it back. Because that's what people do.
Okay. Right, Cauliflower McPug over in New Zealand. A question for Mini Hubnut. What have you enjoyed learning the most at Cambrian Classics with Tim? Fittingly, he is wearing the T-shirt, but was presented to Tim just this week on one of his sessions. We call it Carb Club. So, what have you enjoyed most?
Well, building the carbs. Because it's been really fun learning how they work and how they just work.
Yeah, you've been rebuilding SU carburetors. You've been doing pillar drilling. Lots and lots of cleaning, ultrasonic cleaners and whatnot. So yeah, it's been an interesting time. And this one just gone. You also got to do valve clearances on a Ford Granada.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Question for the full team. We are not full Phil Webb, but we'll give it a go. Which car in the fleet would you most want to go on a road trip in, and where would you go? If only we had the time. School gets in the way of everything. Very annoying.
I'd say Ellie across France.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, I've done that a few times. It's noisy but lovely.
That would be very uncomfortable, though, would it not? Like, in her for ages.
Comfortable?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I mean, it's loud.
exactly. Would hurt my ears.
Okay, so which one do you want to go in then? That sounded a bit more like Betty, really, if you want peace and quiet. She's got a good stereo.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh, Betty across Australia.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Take her back home. Yeah, we're dreaming now, folks. We can't afford to go to Australia, but that would be cool. There we go, we're going to cross Australia. James G75. Hello to the Hubnut from Annie and I hope you are well. That's about what music me and Miss Hubnut like to listen to. We'll get to that a bit later on. Annie would like to know what hobbies the Hublets have. Well, we've got some of them displayed right behind us, I think.
Yeah.
Lego.
Lego.
There's a common theme with both of you.
I like doing photography, and it's not really a hobby, but I like binge watching things.
You do absolutely binge on stuff. Also like your music, various. Well, both of you like your music. Not so much playing these days, just the listening to.
I've been
You
told.
have very wide-ranging tastes.
Yeah, but mine you guys consider emo.
Yeah, well, we do that mainly to take the mickey.
Yeah, it's not funny. I don't want to be emo.
It's funny.
I like building things and collecting as well. I like collecting a lot.
Yes, collecting. I'm a very bad influence. But at least you don't collect so much rubbish as I do.
I mean, uranium glass probably the most dangerous one, but you know.
Richard Bullock is also asking very similar questions about first cars. So I think we've covered that one. Robert Green, which cars are your fleet favourites?
Ellie.
Ellie, there we go.
Tuck.
There we go. I think we got that one. Has also been covered a bit earlier. And which ones should I not have sold?
Cecily.
Oh, Cecily. Yeah, Cecily came up for sale again recently, and we couldn't afford to buy Cecily back.
Cecily and the multipler.
Oh, the amazing multipler. Now
and
deceased.
also Vixella, because for some reason I had an attachment to her.
Well, it's the first car you ever drove.
Yeah.
Vauxhall Vectra, so that's understandable. Seems a long time ago now. It was about 3 years ago.
More than that. We had COVID then. We haven't
Oh,
been
blimey.
to the
Yeah,
Field of Dreams since
it'll be
COVID.
it'll be 4 years this summer. Good grief. Good grief. Time is flying. Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Train TV, his name has been truncated, it's that long, but that's Davey up in Scotland. How did you feel the first time you went on camera in a Hubnut video? I wonder when that was. Probably that driving day.
Probably.
Yeah. So there you were. You were driving a car for the first time on camera.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that?
I was nervous, but for some reason not as nervous as like doing a presentation in front of my class, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, I get that. It's a bigger audience, but it's the other side of distance.
it's
So
not
not so scary.
I was all right with it because I think mostly we've grown up with social media, so we're just
and
used
YouTube.
to seeing just people live their lives on screen. So
Different
it's
times.
Just us, pretty much.
Whereas when the first time I appeared on camera, I was absolutely terrified. I got interviewed at the 2005 2CV World Meeting by an American chap, and I was just like, get the camera out my face. Nino, who has Foxanne now, hello Nino, would like to know what I and the Hublets think of the current new car scene. Are you even into cars? Well, yes, I would say so. Or do you have bigger fish to fry? But no, what do you think of new cars? You've driven new cars. You drove those new Corsas when we went and did that driving experience.
It really depends on the new cars that we're talking about. Like if
Very
it's
true.
newer Fords, I'm just kind of leaning away from it. Especially with the Mach-E, which they turned the Mustang into a crossover, is just not very good. But with Polestar, for instance, I think their cars are beautiful, and they like really did good with them.
Rumoured to be splitting from Volvo, a Polestar. So we'll see what that does. What do you think of moderns?
It depends on if they're fast or not, really.
Predictable. Yeah, speed the thing. Well, those Corsas you drove, I believe, were turbos.
Yeah, they did go quite fast when
Yeah.
we went on that straight.
Yeah, I think you only got to go up to about 30 miles an hour, but that still feels pretty quick if all you've done is drive around a field.
Yeah.
So there we go. Neil Beaumont, 2820. Apparently there's a lot of Neil Beaumonts. He would like to know from the Hublets if having a YouTuber in the family has influenced, I see what you did there, what you want to do when you grow up. I don't think it has really.
No, I still like want to do engineering, want to fix cars, things like that. Yeah.
Not really. I still want to do policing, but it might have slightly changed because one of my A-levels that I'm doing, though it wasn't my first choice of the A-levels, is media. And my kind of like backup plan if policing doesn't work is working in something to do with media.
Yeah, and Wales isn't a bad place to do it. There's a lot of telly stuff going on down in Cardiff, for instance. So, I mean, this is media, but there is also proper media,
Yeah.
like actual telly and films and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Edward Newton. We knew this one was coming. I'm not sure we can answer this one, Edward. We'll give it a good go. If the kids could buy 7 cars each, what would they be?
I gotta get my list out.
Yeah.
I remember my list.
You remember your list? Okay.
So Lotus Carlton, Mark 1 Renault Twingo, a Porsche 911 Carrera RS 3.8. Because
Okay.
I just think they're beautiful.
That is specific.
Peel P50,
obsession runs
6-wheel
deep.
Tyrrell F1 car,
Okay. Yeah.
the Lotus Renault 2011 F1 car, because I think they just sound beautiful.
Oh, good old V10 power.
And finally, a 1969 Mustang Mach 1 in deep, dark, metallic green.
Would that be influenced by a certain film?
No, I just like...
No? Okay. There we
Yeah, I
go.
just like the colour green.
I haven't got as much of an imagination.
Oh.
McLaren Senna.
Might have to save a bit for that one.
Yeah. A 2CV of my own.
Oh, so Ellie could have a friend.
Little Tykes toy car.
What, the actual cozy coupe?
Yeah.
An actual one? Or a replica based on a real car?
Oh, maybe a replica based on a real
Because
car.
someone built one out of a Daewoo Matiz. I know the Smart is the obvious choice to build your cozy coupe, but
and then-
someone did it with a Matiz.
My
wonder where that is now.
other 4 are probably like F1 cars. One driven by Schumacher, one driven by Senna, one driven by... Oh, who else? probably Alonso.
Okay. Yeah.
And
He's driven lots of cars.
one driven by Lando Norris, because Lando's my favourite.
Yeah, Lando, if you're watching, she quite likes you.
No, not like that.
Oh, not like that. Not like that. Okay, we better clear that one up. Sorry, Lando, if I got your hopes up there. I'm sorry. Where are we now? David Brown IV60X. Interesting. Which is the first Hubnut video you can remember watching? Obviously not for me, because the first one I watched was the one I made.
I can't remember. I think it might have been the Volvo one, because we kind of stalked him.
A little bit.
Because we found we were on call with Mum, and she went, "Oh, I'm at a YouTuber's house," and so basically, me and Dev went onto Facebook and was like, "Who's she friends with?"
So which Volvo video?
I don't know.
I don't know. I
Not
remember,
the free Volvo.
I remember the Foxanne one mostly.
It
Okay.
might
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
Foxanne.
Yeah, Foxanne I got running in the garage at the old house, yes. So, there we go. Now we'll ask Miss Hubnut a bit later on. ACDC Backyard Babies, that's one heck of a handle. For Mini Hubnut, do you prefer the Rover 75 or the MG-ZT?
It's got to be the MGZT.
Sportier. For me, is a folding camper a viable alternative to a conventional caravan? I would say so. It is better in many ways, because it's lighter and offers more space for the given weight.
I've been told if it gets struck by lightning, it's gone for though.
Well, it's got a metal frame, it'll be fine, it'll go around us.
Yeah, but might set fire to the canvas.
Maybe. We hope we won't get struck by lightning. Ian Ellis, sorry, it took me a while to see the I there. 3227. Bit of a serious one. Would the Hublets want to participate in the channel more, or possibly have their own channel?
Well, I mean,
Over lockdown, we did do a little bit of a channel, but
Yeah, it didn't
then
end well.
we couldn't be bothered, really.
yeah.
No, it's hard to get established early on.
Yeah, no, I probably would have something close to that. Yeah.
Okay. And as a parent, how would you feel about this? It is a scary one because, you do worry about, because obviously I've been on the internet for quite a long time. I know what people can be like. So you do worry because it isn't always nice. And the comments particularly can be quite unpleasant at times. So that's probably my biggest concern.
That's why all my accounts are private.
Yay, good way to be. Alan Foster, 6965. How have I completely changed you, your life and outlook on life? That's a big question. Or have I not?
I don't think you've changed my life.
Well, you have given me quite a bit of opportunities.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
I mean-
Local friends, Lewis and Tim, have been able to offer you some very interesting opportunities. So, yeah, I'm very lucky there.
I probably wouldn't be able to learn to drive without you, though.
It would be a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mum technically cannot teach you yet.
Yeah.
You have to be driving for 3 years before you can teach someone else to drive. I think we've covered this, Ohio Pete. Perfect first car. I think we've kind of discussed that. Renaults, apparently.
Or a Lotus Carlton, you know.
I think that's one for us. Oh, here's a good one. Carl Overhaar. How do you as a couple and the four of you as a family keep the balance between private life and YouTube content? I don't think we really discussed that one too much. We just make sure we have plenty of off-camera adventures as well, because you have to. You can't document every aspect of your life. That's not what the channel is about. So we have plenty of fun off-camera
Yeah, we do.
that you don't know about. Sorry.
It's mostly video games.
Loping Ted, do the Hublets want to be filmed working on the cars with you on the channel?
Yes.
Okay,
I'd get too angry
it's true.
and probably destroy
Yeah.
the car more than fix it.
Yeah, I have enough of that problem myself. And where are you going to park all the cars when all the family are driving? Oh, we don't know. We don't know, Ted.
We'll build a multi-story car park.
Oh, Lord Bungle. Got two questions. First one, very, very controversial. Marmite, yes or no?
Yes.
There we go.
That was.
We're very, very pro Marmite in this household.
You're like the only one that's a bit on it.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually fairly ambivalent on the question of Marmite. I don't hate it. Can't say I'm the biggest fan. If I never ate it again, I wouldn't cry. But
He's Marmite on Marmite.
yeah, weird. Less controversial, would you prefer a classic car or a newish modern car as your daily driver?
Classic.
Okay.
Probably a classic.
Just because of the mechanical stuff and how I
Okay.
would actually know how to fix it rather than having to code and stuff, which is a bit complicated.
There's a hair sticking out.
All right, I think we may be nearly at the bottom there.
Aww.
Oh no, Reese. Hello, Reese.
Hello.
Has a question. What member of the fleet? Yeah, I think we've covered this. What member of the fleet you want to drive first? You said Ellie. And Mini Hublets Dream Car. We've listed 7 of them. But there we go. So thank you, Reese, for your question. And thank you, everyone, for your questions. We're now going to jump into a session with just myself and Miss Hubnut. So thank you.
Yay!
Bye.
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 Well, here goes with the next part of this Q&A. We've travelled quite a long way. We are currently in Llandovery. I don't know if you can see the castle remnants, the rather magnificent sculpture. It is a nice place, but it is somewhat chilly and windy, so we're hiding in Betty, I'm afraid. We're going to jump into Patreon questions to just give us a break from the YouTube questions. We'll get back to the YouTube ones, the ones we haven't already covered, very shortly. But where are we starting with the Patreon questions?
So, Chris
Hello,
Downs,
Patreons.
not really a question as the first question.
Okay.
Just want to say keep up the good work. Sometimes a little while before I catch up, as I have to save up watching until I get 5 minutes peace from the kids.
Know the feeling.
By the way, I work at a Merc Smart dealer, so if you could think of anything I might be able to help with, let me know. All the best.
Okay, will do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
May regret that decision.
I regret that decision. Yeah.
Paul Watts, Miss Hubnut. I passed my driving in 1979, had a brand new Ford Escort from the driving school, only had 150 miles on the clock, no pressure.
Blimey.
Blimey.
Yeah, I was like that for my driving test. It was a pretty much brand new Vauxhall Corsa. And my instructor changed cars that day. So my previous lessons had all been in his purple Corsa, living the life, driving a purple Corsa. And then I had to change to a silver one on the day of my test. But thankfully I did pass.
Okay, now you've screenshotted this, so I haven't got all of what Nigel Hancock is saying here. So it says, I understand Miss Hubnut is at the smaller end of the driving population,
Ooh,
and I'm at the
whoops,
other
I
end.
failed.
But how bloody hard would it be to have seat runners that accommodate us both these days? I feel the range of adjustment has got worse. My 1966 MG Midget worked fine with my 6'4" frame, but my 2014 Jaguar XFS Sport Brake is only just...
I think this highlights a problem generally, that crash test dummies don't vary much, do they?
No, I think it's all about, and this is going to sound terrible, and you know I'm a feminist, blah, blah, blah. It's about the average man, isn't it?
Yeah, the average man.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of people who are not average.
No.
And they're not really taken into account of when it comes to ergonomics and indeed crash test safety. So
No, but Mo made a good point when we were at, for those of us that are on the smaller end of the spectrum, the Japanese cars, the Japanese populace is smaller.
Oh yeah, so they
So
tend
they
to be
tend to
a bit.
be-
That's probably why you like Daihatsu.
Yeah, because I fit.
Yeah, you fit in.
But
a
you're
Daihatsu.
absolutely right. There needs to be more, just not accept more. There just needs to be more than the average.
Yes, because people are not average.
No.
Ever more so, I would say, in these times. But there we are.
Absolutely. So yeah, I feel that rage as well. James Ashton says, do you think the obvious built-in obsolescence seen in more modern cars will lead to a future blind spot in classic cars?
Yeah, quite possibly, because stuff will just get impossible to do anything with. Whereas in 50 years, you can still see it that classics made in the 60s and 70s will still be driving to shows, much as they always have done. The more modern stuff, it'll be interesting to see all those sensors and everything.
Yeah, because you can fabricate a metal part, but you can't necessarily fabricate a sensor.
Yeah, and you go back to the 50s, 60s especially, so much stuff was interchangeable between different marques, whereas nowadays everything is bespoke to that one car. And it's going to make life very difficult.
Do you want to call out the worst offenders? Ooh.
Worst offenders? Well, I don't know who the worst offenders are. I mean, all modern cars are packed
You do
full
get
of
the
wiring
lists, though,
and
don't you?
computers and a bit of cracked solder, and your entire car is rendered useless. So I would say there aren't any worst offenders. They're all as bad as each other. in that regard.
Paige Greer says, how bad shape is Ellie's body in?
It's pretty
Crust-wise,
crusty.
question
Yeah,
mark. What happened to the other wrecker yard breaker reclaimed vehicle? The Pajero Junior had loads of work done on the
yeah,
weekend.
we are still working
that's-
on that. We're not going to put another video out until something a bit more significant happens, because you spent 2 days waxing
I
an
have spent
underseat
2
with
days
it.
under that car.
Yeah. But we thought that in itself wasn't a good enough video, so we want to really move that project
I see.
on.
My 2 days of effort is...
Yeah. And this is the problem when you start doing restoration stuff, is you kind of need days and days and days of footage to make one video, really.
Yeah, because you could be sanding for days, or
Yeah.
you know, taking rust off for days,
So
or yeah.
as Whiteland Restorations know all too well themselves, you can't just put 14 videos out of sanding your car.
No. Paige also says, is Miss Hubnut's daughter in... she's in training. How many hours do you have to do before testing?
There's no requirement. You could book your test on your birthday if you wanted to here. There is no obligation to have any training whatsoever, although obviously it'd be a bit of a waste of money if you went into it.
However, the pass rate currently in the UK is about 50%. And you have to have done your theory test before
That's
you
the
take
point.
your practical test.
Can you do... What age can you do your theory test?
I don't know. I know you can get your
'Cause
provisional at 15.
do you have to do your theory before doing your CBT? Your compulsory basic training is something you have to do
I don't know.
purely for mopeds and motorbikes. You must do your
And you can do that at
CBT.
16, can't you?
Yeah,
Interesting to know.
interesting.
Unless,
But yeah, otherwise, not very much requirement at all.
unless Mini
And
Hubnut is listening.
I know you compare us with, say, Australia, where it's very stringent. There's a huge requirement to get hours in before your test, and then you've got restrictions after your test as well on I think the speed you're allowed to drive and the number of passengers you
However,
can carry, which I think is very sensible. You only have one person with
having
you.
just gone through the system, they send out checklists and so on to make sure that you are ready. Are you doing can you confidently say yes to these things?
Okay,
Or
that's
do
good.
you
I
need
didn't
to
know that.
move your test?
Yeah.
And you keep getting the emails right up to your test. So they do encourage that you do not just go in there blind. And
Right.
if you fail, there's a certain amount of days before you can do it again.
Yeah.
So I would don't be a smart ass and try and just do it. It's not a good idea.
No. I'm just saying that technically you could.
But definitely,
Yeah.
they absolutely, very strongly advise that you are ready for that
Yeah.
test.
Next question.
Because Hubnut is business, is your fuel and travel deductible?
Yes.
Simple answer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an awful lot goes onto our expenses. I think last year, the total expenses for the channel, which including merchandise and everything else, it was tens of thousands of pounds. So it's a lot of money to make the videos and the merchandise happen. And the merchandise in particular, obviously, has quite a high turnover, and the profit margin, we don't put a huge profit on stuff.
No.
We had to put it up a bit because we found out we really didn't earn very much at all on it
No.
previous tax year.
But we try
tried
and
to
do
keep
it
it affordable.
Yeah, a price that we would feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't feel comfortable with it, we wouldn't do it. So
Yeah. I mean, it exists to make a profit. That is kind of the point of it. But ultimately, we don't want to charge stupid money. You
No.
see some YouTubers charging, not our friends, the car YouTubers, but
I
the-
send
the-
t-shirts for £28.
Yeah. Bigger channels, especially aimed at kids very often.
Yes. Oh,
Horrendous,
goodness
like
me.
70 quid for a hoodie.
Yeah, when the kids were big into it, things I had to buy.
Yep.
Finn Wren, so thank you very much, Paige, for those questions.
thank you.
Finn Wren, excited for a new Q&A. If you could suddenly have a modern car feature fitted to all of your fleet, what feature would it be? No cruise control, as I feel that's too easy.
I think variable speed wipers, because Betty has it, and I like it. And in Wales, that control gets a lot of use because we have many levels of rain in Wales,
Yeah.
and I miss that in Bella the Belingo, especially because she's got a really stupid system where the intermittent period is speed sensitive. So if you're doing over 50 miles an hour, the gap is barely anything at all, even if it's quite light rain. drives me up the wall.
Had to be wiper related.
Had to be
didn't it?
wiper related. Yeah. But yeah, genuinely, I like variable.
I mean,
intermittent
Chevy's
wipers.
pretty modern. She's only 18 years old, so there's not really anything I feel like
She
I'm
hasn't
lacking.
got variable intermittent wipers though.
I'm quite happy with her wipers. We discussed her wipers on the way over.
Good wiping performance, excellent washers as well. Yeah, when they
But
both
yeah,
work.
I'm quite happy with all that she's got.
Mhm.
You know, she's got electric windows. She's got all mod cons.
Yeah.
There's nothing more I need in life.
Well, we like Betty because Betty's comfortable and quiet and has the
Yeah.
big stereo. So yeah, we've kind of got everything we need in this car.
And
Not so much in some of the others stereos.
I think
in
I
Chevy is also-
don't quite understand parking sensors and the screens where you've got the parking like that.
Well, we've never really used them.
Yeah, but I think that would confuse me more than just trying to do it,
Okay,
you know.
Yeah.
Visited Lingotto 2 weeks after you in awful weather due to seeing your video. You made him go over there and it was horrible, Ian.
Yeah, sorry. It was lovely when I was there.
Took a trip
God,
over
that
from...
was a day. Just sat on the top of Lingotto with Matteo, just going, is this real?
Took a trip over from Switzerland in an awful Toyota BZ X4.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks again for all the great videos from you both.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think that brings
us to the end of the patrons.
Yeah,
so
so-
we'll just grab the YouTube questions. Back once again with the YouTube questions.
Renegade Master. Power to the
I knew that
people.
was coming. Right, what we got?
We've got FH Wolf here says, I'd love to hear from Mini Miss Hubnut about her experiences with her driving
We've
lessons.
done that. Yeah.
Did that one. James Bester85 says, James here from Auto Animals. What advice would you give to someone who wants to own an older /retro/classic car, but only has a driveway? Is it possible to do it without a risk of rust?
No, I would say avoiding rust is quite difficult. The more modern you get, the more rust becomes less of an issue on some cars. Daihatsus, terrible. Mazdas, also quite iffy. But quite a lot of cars are much better at repelling rust, but it is always going to be an issue. But yeah, you can run an old car in your driveway. I had to do it for many years. I didn't have a garage.
And well,
Not
Tony
always
S has
much
said
fun.
here, worst thing for any vehicle is being put in a garage whilst wet or damp. Keeping it in the open and used regularly alongside with underside cleaning in spring is okay. Inaction will kill anything.
Yeah.
Install a carport, as most councils class as temporary structures, so shouldn't require planning consent, but inquire first. If you have a drive, then you may find that consent for a garage exists, possibly now expired, but the developer never built it, or a 70s integral garage that a previous owner has turned into a room. That's really good advice.
Yeah, that was much better than
Thank you,
our
Tony.
advice.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Thank you, Tony. People are answering each other's questions. Marvellous.
Frederick Larson is asking how is it to be Minnie and Little Miss Hubner and suddenly have a mum who also rather suddenly or modestly so became both famous. Oh,
Famous.
famous. And the only
You
person
notice that Optare Solo over there?
that both
Lurking in the background. It's like it's spying on us. Ooh.
that both is capable sparring partner to Hubner and become truly loved as a purple-haired and wonderfully
Aw.
feisty Miss Hubner. Oh,
That's nice, isn't it?
yeah.
We covered that one.
This is lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's really, really lovely. Thank you.
Moving on, come on.
the-
New questions.
S Rich GTR asking about the Hublets when they're
Yeah,
driving their
done that one.
test and their driving test. Another one for the Hublets from Sam Ayres. What car would they like to see join the fleet next?
Yep.
Probably
covered that
nothing that we choose. They're thrilled about the smart car.
Oh,
Thrilled.
yeah. that much was apparent.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm just having flashbacks to the school runs. Stephen Cook says, what cars on the fleet would Carly like to drive after driving the GSA? And in order. Wow, okay. So this is me rather than what the internet
Yeah.
decides. And, well, Giselle was always the one for me. I've been desperate to drive Giselle for a very long time. Then I really want to drive the Pajero.
Oh, okay.
I do, I really want to drive the Pajero.
We better get it fixed then.
Yeah, I know. I really want to drive the smart car.
Yeah. That'll be an experience for you.
Because they may well be fleet members. So.
Yeah.
Then in this existing fleet, I'd like to drive Myrtle as a comparative to Shemington.
An interesting comparison.
I would like to drive... I'm scared of driving Betty because you
Well-
think that Betty means that I will drive a towing car and tow Bob.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a huge jump from a tiny
Yeah.
Daihatsu.
But we are having problems because Betty's an import and not a UK market car. None of the short-term insurers will provide cover. So that is a bit of an issue. And I can't add you to my insurance for Betty because you haven't got enough experience yet. So it will happen. We're just not sure when.
Ellie hates me. Tuck's terrifying.
Yeah.
And I would like to drive Bella because she's sensible, but again, someone's going to see that as an excuse for me to start towing.
Yeah.
And I don't
Your
want
education
to do
with
that.
towing has got to start at some point.
Anyway, what have we got? We've got MG Bets asking what Little Miss Havnut wants for her first car.
Yeah, that was discussed
And
in great detail.
What was it?
A Renault Clio.
Oh, it was. Okay. And Havnut Jr. Fancy
Renault
first.
Twingo.
Twingo, yeah. That's
Renault's
not,
represented.
neither of these things surprise me.
Yeah.
Richard Bullock, what would each of the youngsters like as their first cars?
Yeah, covered that off. I'm going to have to close my window. It started raining.
Saying when he was a boy, his dad bought him a 1970 Fiat 500L. Cool.
Nice.
Very cool. When I was older and legal to drive, I bought a 1988 Renault 5 1.1 TL.
Oh.
Excellent.
Talking of 500s, that buck we saw when we were at Lingotto, up in the Fiat 500 cafe, what I didn't really show in the video is the front end of it has been adjusted at some point. They've chopped the old badge space out and put a new one in for the later 1970s Fiat badge.
Oh.
So they amended the buck so they could keep on using it as their buck.
Okay.
Is it?
Phil Webb, question for the full team. Which car in the fleet would you most want to road trip in and where would you go? You can each pick a car and a destination.
Yeah, well, Little Miss Hubner chose Ellie across France,
Cool.
whereas Mini Hubner wanted to take Betty across Australia.
Wow, okay. And what about you?
I didn't answer the question.
So now's your chance. Full
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Pressure's on. I have no idea.
I know where I
I
go.
was
I know
toying
where I
with
go.
the idea
I
of
know
Route
where to go.
66 in Ellie.
I would take Shemi to that Daihatsu meet in Japan, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
And
awesome.
Is it Malaysia with the race?
Yeah, the 24-hour race that Mighty Car Mods did.
She wouldn't participate, but she would go along and have a watch.
She would participate.
I say I. So yeah, I'm heading sort of Asia direction
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Sherrington
So, whereas I would quite like to do America.
with
Ellie.
Route 66.
The only problem is, obviously, America is not very suited to Ellie because it's lots of straight roads, quite boring. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and Ellie would be perfect. Can you imagine Ellie going up Pikes Peak?
I think America is very varied. I don't think it's all just long straight roads.
Okay.
It's a huge, vast country.
Yeah. Yeah. I only get insight from people like Derek driving down very straight interstate sometimes.
Edward Newton says, question is for all. If the kids could buy 7 cars each, what would they be? We actually ran this over at dinner, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. They had pre-prepared lists.
They had
so
pre-prepared
that was
lists.
answered.
Did Little Miss Havnuts involve lots of Formula 1 cars?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised even a little bit.
It is her new obsession.
James G75. Hello to Havnut family from Annie and I. Hope you're all
Hello.
well. Hello
Again.
there.
Again.
I was wondering what music Ian and Carly like to listen to when they're driving. We generally listen to the radio, don't we?
Mine better. We haven't got a lot of choice. The CD player doesn't work, and I still haven't managed to get around to trying to fix it.
I don't actually listen to music still when I'm driving, just because I still feel a bit nervous.
Yeah, it's concentration level.
Yeah, it's concentration,
Yeah,
isn't it? It depends, really. We did do a playlist for Rustival,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was awesome. Loads of people have taken that on board and
Yeah, and that's
use
still
it as their
available.
playlist. Yeah, and with Rustival 2 might be another one.
Yeah, Rustival 2 is coming, folks.
Cauliflower McPug says, question for Minnie Havnut, what has he enjoyed learning the most at Cambrian Classics with Tim? I bet
Yeah,
that was a
that was
long
discussed.
answer.
Yeah, mostly carburettor related.
Yep. Robert N. Green says, both youngsters, which cars are your fleet favourites? And
that
which
was
should
discussed.
Ian not have sold? Was it Cecily?
Cecily was mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about their favourite fleet members?
Oh, I can't even remember now. There were a few days on.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to remind myself.
Andrew Thompson UK says it was really nice to be at the meet yesterday. Thank you. It's
Oh,
lovely
that
to
would
see
be
you at the meet.
having that social.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really good. Oh, Grumpy Talk 8905 says, what shows are you planning to attend this summer? Well,
Planning. Do not recognise this word.
Photo.
Festival of the Unexceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got some of our Dutch friends
we'll
coming over for that.
do Pembrokeshire again.
Yeah,
'cause
hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. We're not
that
100% confirmed on
weekend's
that
looking
one.
a bit busy, but it would be good to do Pembrokeshire Classic.
You're
Cars
doing
again.
Bewley Auto Jumble.
I am. I'm doing the Bewley Spring Auto Jumble. 18th, 19th of May, I'm hoping to have a stand and be joined by Kitch up and down videos. So should be a lot of fun.
And on that weekend, I will be doing Wheels for Wales.
Yes.
More locally, which
Yeah.
was an awesome, it was a car run last year and it's a static show this year and it'll be a really good event. They did such a really, really good
Yeah,
job
yeah, that'd be
last year.
Yeah.
Where else are we going? Oh, Restival 2.
Festival 2, yeah, in September. Yeah, we'll be at that. Don't know what our, I mean, this is way beyond summer. Don't know what we're doing for the NEC Classic show this year in November.
I think we'll probably do a stop in rather
Yeah,
than
we might do a stop in rather than have
Yeah.
a stand there, just because it just ends up being too much. It's days and days pre and post the show trying to sort stock out and everything.
Yeah.
So we
yeah.
might go and actually enjoy the show for once and just mooch around.
And tell you when we're there so you can find
Yeah,
us.
yeah, we'll sort something out.
Stephen Ball 8406 says, thinking of buying a smart roadster. Would love to know what you think of them.
Well, that's very relevant.
I know.
Isn't it?
Yeah, guess what we've been doing
Guess what
today?
we were driving just this morning. So there's a future content hint. Smart Roadster test coming up. I hated it. I didn't like it at all.
Do you believe in, folks?
I loved it.
What noise did it make?
Choo! Proper little turbo flutter. Oh, I loved it.
Mr. Mark UK1, all hope all is well. Would you ever do a USA road trip looking at classic cars?
Well, there we are.
Absolutely.
Yes, would love to.
Yeah, we would love to. Especially seeing Derek with his son mooching around and finding all these incredible places.
Yeah, it would be nice to do.
Yeah. Alan Lansdale says, have you considered combining a European road trip with a Hubnut social along the way? Yeah, that is something we'd love to do.
Yeah, I've not done a proper Hubnut social in Europe, but I have had little meets over in Europe. Not for a while, I don't think. Maybe I'll try and make it happen. I'm trying to work out Elk Merkwaardig's AM Valhalla meet is also in May. I think it's on the 11th. Might be the 11th. Of May. I should probably check the details. I'm hoping to get to that, but at the moment I haven't booked ferries or anything, or indeed got the car I'm hoping to take working. So watch this space, but maybe I'll try and do a separate meet as well. But the best thing to do is just go to that meet.
I was going to say you could take
Because even if I don't make it to that meet, it is an awesome meet.
Yeah,
and
that
I
is
know there's a few more Brits going this year.
That seems to be a very up and coming show, that one.
Yeah.
Nino 500. Oh,
Yep.
can you change your name? Because that little car looks very familiar.
Yeah, indeed.
When I was a teen, it was a very exciting time for new cars, mid to late 70s. They got very boring from the 90s onwards, which is why I got into modern classics. Bangonomics. I'd like to know what you and the Hublets think of the current new car scene. Are they even into cars or do they have bigger fish to fry? They are into cars.
They're into cars, but what we found was neither of them are really into new
cars. No.
Not really their bag.
Little Miss Hublot is huge into Formula One at the moment. So quite obsessive about the cars and
I
everything.
mean, they
to
have
do with
answered
that.
this question themselves.
Yeah, okay.
So
What do we think about the current new car scene?
Bit disappointing for the most part. I quite like the Dacia Jogger, and that's about it.
The Logan? You like the Logan?
Do they still make a Logan? I don't think they make a
quite
Logan
new, isn't
anymore.
it? Yeah. I like, on the new car scene, Honda E.
Yeah, but it's woeful.
I couldn't
As an
drive
actual
it.
car,
There's
the
no
Honda
way.
E is
There
just
is
bad.
no way I could drive
Very
it.
expensive. It's got poor range. It's all about style, and it lost so much style from concept to reality.
Yeah, but I
it's
couldn't personally
just a
drive it
disappointment.
because I can't even listen to the radio, and the whole front of it is like a screen. There's no
Yeah.
way. It's a gorgeous little thing. I also like the Suzuki Ignis circa about 2019. I don't know if it still looks the same.
I had someone trolling me the other day, accusing me of having some sort of modern on finance somewhere. Nope, we really do drive old rubbish. And Betty now has 333,776 kilometres on her because she's been getting a lot of use.
Ian Ellis 3227. Hi to all you guys and thanks for the great videos. A bit
Thank
of a
you.
serious one. Would the Hublets want to participate in the channel more or possibly have their own channel? As a parent, how do you feel about this?
I think it's telling. I didn't really answer this in this way when we did it first time round, but obviously them getting involved with this Q&A was not our idea. We would never force them to sort of do stuff. It was very much their idea. They were like, we want to do a Q&A. So we did. So I think that tells you that they do want to be involved.
Yeah, but you do have to be extremely careful. I think there are channels out there, some of them quite sinister with things that parents are doing.
Oh yeah.
And some of them OTT, where they're kind of thinking about the filming more than the children and thinking things like, oh, let's take them down the park so I can film, or let's take them to a cafe and we'll have a little giggle while they're, having a milkshake or whatever.
I said in the video, we have a lot of private time.
Yeah.
But we don't film because you have to.
You see some more of Mini Hubnut, because Mini Hubnut will always come to a show with us.
Yeah.
And he's been doing engineering things. But we are very cautious in the way that we bring them in. For their comfort and safety is the most important to us. So, at Rustival, you met them. They're very confident children.
Yeah.
For all, they'll be
They
watching
did
this
they
going,
did a great
no,
job.
we're not. We're ever so shy, Mum. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
But yeah, it's something that we're very cautious with doing. And we, even when we've involved the children, we still question sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah.
Let's move on. We're going to get through these a bit. We'll
ACDC
use loads of
Backyard
time here.
Babies. One
Good,
from
good.
Mini Hubnut.
Yeah, we've done that one.
Mr. Hubnut. Is a folding camper a viable alternative to a conventional caravan for a family holiday?
I answered that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that it? Just yes.
Yeah. And
Okay.
discussed it more. We've already done it. You weren't there for the filming of that. I think you were asleep.
Why was I asleep? Because I've been doing your car.
Yes. We wore you out.
Scottish Car Enthusiast and Trains TV, I think that ends with.
Yep. Oh, Davey.
Davey, my question this time around to Miss Hubnut and the Mini Hubnuts is, how did you feel the first time going on the camera in a Hubnut video? Well, the first time you saw me, you just saw my hand.
Yeah. I'm going to open the window now. It's that sort of weather at the
warm.
moment. It's now
Hot and
absolutely
cold.
baking.
You probably see him from the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it, didn't we? But obviously
Well, I was very, very concerned to do it because of your stature. I thought we're going to get loads of nasty comments, and actually,
he didn't want to put me on the videos because I'm weird.
yeah. But actually, we haven't had that many of
No,
that
we
nature.
haven't.
We
We
just
haven't.
had the standard anti-woman comments, but we still get from time to time. We just hide you from the channel. If you're going to say horrible things, we don't want to see it. We don't want anyone else to see it. We just hide you.
And actually, that's a really valuable point with this video, including the children.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we will probably hold the comments on this one.
Yeah, because people say horrible things,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, so-
not the vast majority of you.
No.
Lovely comments.
It's like 0.001%.
But TikTok was getting so bad, I've turned the comments off on TikTok.
Yeah, but we get
barely
fantastic
post there
comments. But yeah, we thought quite a lot about me being in the videos, also from a personal life perspective. But then obviously our personal life changed, and you actually came to live with us. So
Yeah. It became quite difficult to not
Yeah.
include you. Because we were going on trips and we had that problem with Giselle, and I was having to go to such extreme lengths to not film the family on that trip. And I was just like, this is just impractical. I need to be able to film more comfortably. So yeah, but we did have a lot of concern about it.
Neil Beaumont asking the Hublets if having a YouTuber in the family has influenced what they want to be when
Yeah,
they
did you see
grow up.
that influenced?
Hey.
Yeah, we discussed that.
I've just got a message from Mini Hubnut. I need uranium cups.
Okay.
Okay. I want to drink from them. Okay, moving swiftly onwards.
Strange child.
Little Miss Hubnut does do media stuff,
Yes.
but she's determined that it's not going to be YouTube related, isn't she?
No, I think she's open to it. Media is media. But
Yeah.
yeah, she's kind of studying proper media, is what we said.
Paul McElroy says, with regards to Tuck's refurbishment, have you had any thoughts on the paint?
Oh,
Maybe a really leery colour?
no, she will stay blue. It is their iconic colour, and that is, to me, is what they always look like. It wouldn't be right to paint her a leery colour.
We wanted to look at Tatty Bird, but stable.
Yeah. So sadly, that project has stalled entirely because we've just been wrapped up in other stuff, but it needs to happen.
Alan Foster 6965 says, how has Ian completely changed you, your life and outlook on life?
Well, they answered that one.
Did they?
Yeah, I can't remember what
What
they
did
said.
they? I bet they said really cute stuff. I can't wait to watch it. Or actually, I'm going to laugh hilariously because they've been evil.
Yeah.
Because they're teenagers.
But yeah, what do you think?
I think he smells. No. No, Ian's my soulmate.
Oh,
Yeah, you are. You're my soulmate. You're my best friend. That's how you changed my life.
not by being a YouTuber. Sorry, I'm filming the steering wheel.
You
right
are
now.
fitting with steering. You got so excitable
I did get
that you
so
filmed the
excited,
steering
sorry.
wheel. Martin Neumann says, no questions so far, but I will join the party. See you soon, Hubnet family. Martin.
Thank you, Martin.
Take
You do
care,
enjoy
Martin.
your postcodes on the occasion? I haven't had one for a while.
HAO5GER. Dream cars of everyone, but realistic.
Yeah, we did that.
I like the lol.
Yeah.
Your dream car?
I can't remember what I said. This is the problem. This is why I can't do second takes, because I can't remember what I said in the first take.
Well, for me, it's going to be a Daihatsu Midget. We've got a family holiday to pay for now. The kids will be much older once that's paid for and once we've been on holiday. So my next little pot of money will be for a Daihatsu Midget.
Yeah, I have to be quick. They're starting to get a bit of interest.
And all the K-trucks. It's so frustrating.
Or playing with the K-truck tomorrow. Well, not K-truck. But
David Brown, for everyone but Ian, which is the first Hubnut video you can remember watching? Mine was the highway code revision time complete with bicycle.
Yeah, they were talking about how they were stalking me.
Yeah, I know, little weirdos.
Yeah. After you said you were in a YouTuber's house.
No, you were there for that conversation.
I probably was.
You were there for that conversation, and I said, was that when we spent the weekend together for the
was.
first time?
When George and Diego met.
They were like, where are you? And then they were digging and they were like, oh, it's a YouTuber and he's about your age and he's from near Aberystwyth. But I hadn't watched any of Ian's videos. It's weird. This sounds terrible. I don't watch your videos. Probably some of the stuff in New Zealand because I was...
Well, by then we were fully united.
Yeah, no, but mostly because your welfare. Because you had some really tough times and I was watching videos.
Yeah, we've been together a few months by then, though.
Yes. Yeah, but I wasn't interested in you as a YouTuber. I was interested in Ian.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's one of the horrible things I've seen when Cletus McFarlane, we watch way too much Cletus.
I
watch way too much Cletus. But he's married now. His second child on the way. But when he first introduced his partner
second child's
to
here.
the channel.
I got two, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, people were accusing her of being a gold digger and all this horrible stuff. And you can see that they have a lovely relationship.
Oh, they're so she goes everywhere with the little ones, and that's no mean feat to take your little ones all over the place.
So yeah, just people are horrible. Some of the attitudes and comments, not nice.
Ohio Pete says, hello from Ohio. Question for all four of you.
Hello, Ohio.
What would be the perfect first car for a newly licensed teenager?
I think we did discuss that in the video.
And what did they say?
I can't remember.
Did they say Daihatsu
I'm terrible.
Charade?
I can't remember any of it. They did say Daihatsu Charade.
Is the Chevrolet Spark available over there?
Yes. They have one on Cletus's channel.
Yeah, the Chevy Spark's supposed to be a good shout.
No, there we go.
Isn't it? I'm just thinking what you could get easily. I mean, obviously Daihatsu Charade, but that might be quite tricky.
Sorry, there's a Ford Transit minibus parking very badly next to us.
Admin question, when are you planning to air the Q&A session?
After I've edited it. But at least we're finally getting around to recording the last bit.
Yes.
It's about an hour long at this point. I'm sorry, folks.
Car Lover Heart has always been at the ready to film just about every mile travelled becomes second nature to Ian and Carly. And how do you keep how do you as a couple and the four of you as a family keep the balance between private life and YouTube content? So, like today, we were driving along. It started to snow. It's April. What on earth? So we filmed very, very briefly.
Oh yeah, let's put that clip in right here.
We'll do it. Dyma ni yn Banau Brycheiniog ac mae'n bwrw eira. We are in Banau Brycheiniog, formerly known as the Brecon Beacons, and it's snowing. Are we concerned?
It's trying to hail.
That is snow.
It's fine.
And
so there you go. That was that clip.
That's the kind of
thing.
Oh
no, the light level's gone really weird again.
Kind of thing you do. And if things get chaotic, if a car breaks or whatever, your instinct is, oh my goodness me.
Yeah, chaos is content.
But it is content.
So when I've been Betty, I was pretty quick getting the camera out to record the moment and the fact I was having such a terrible time. Because chaos is content.
But we do, there's so very, very much that you don't see that we do as a family. There's so many, so for example, the other week, we have said that we went to a family gathering, didn't we? But actually that was a funeral of one of my family members. So we do keep things quite private.
Yeah.
There is
Because
a lot
you have to.
There is a lot you do know, because we do share with you guys, because you
Yeah,
share
we
with
are
us.
excited to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there is some stuff everyone has to hold something back.
Yeah, and you'll notice maybe I'll sort of take a back seat in some ways in the next few weeks or so, because the kids have got exams.
Yeah.
So yeah, the family stuff does overrule everything else. As a couple, we don't get over much couple time, do we?
No.
Because we work together and we have our personal time together.
Yeah, and
But we probably
it is hard sometimes to distinguish between the two, because even in the evening at home, I'm going through the comments, because we'll release videos typically 6 o'clock in the evening.
No, but it's things like today we've been out for lunch, but it was work lunch, not we've just gone for a lovely lunch.
Very disappointing lunch.
It was.
Yeah. We didn't go to where we were recommended to go, and that turned out to be a mistake.
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 Yes. But yeah, we have a very good family unit, so we're very lucky in that respect. Loping Ted says, do the Hublets want to be filmed working on the cars with you on the channel?
Yeah, that was discussed. I bet you can guess the responses.
One yes, one no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Little Miss Hubnut said she'd probably just smash stuff up. Can you believe that? Anger?
What? Really? Rage? No. And where are you going to park all the cars when all the family... We have no idea.
That is a problem.
We are going to have to move into a field. It's as simple as that.
Or a multi-storey car park.
Yeah.
With a static caravan on top.
Or
be
in there,
perfect.
you could tuck one in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, yeah.
I reckon they fit. Anyway, Lord Bungle, I have a couple of questions. The first is very controversial, and surely not from Lord Bungle, controversial, and could cause you problems with the hubheads. Have to call the fans and supporters something. Those are hubheads. Like it.
We can call them nutters. Hub nutters.
Marmite, yes or no? Yes. I love Marmite. I love Marmite with soft cheese. I love Marmite on my cheese on toast. I put Marmite in my bolognese. I put Marmite in my chili. It goes everywhere. That's probably going to be misconstrued. Yes. But you are not a huge fan, are you?
Well, I said I'm fairly ambivalent. I can eat it, but if I never ate it again, I wouldn't cry.
You know, that makes you weird, because you're supposed to either love it or hate it.
I know.
I love the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love Twiglets because they taste like Marmite.
Ugh,
Yum.
they are horrible. It's like eating actual twigs.
And then there was a less controversial question for the Hublets. Would you prefer a classic car or a newish modern car as your daily driver?
Discuss that. Both classics.
Excellent.
We're raising them well.
Excellent. Emma Jacobs is just clarifying, I thought we were hub nutters. And Lord Bungle says that makes more sense. And 1 second, fling. Oh.
Have we still got
Here we
loads
go.
left?
No.
All good.
Hang on. And then we've got Reese, question
Oh, he
mark
was the last
in.
question, I think.
Yeah, he is. Question for the Hublets. First, to Mini Miss Hubnut, when she's passed, what member of the fleet is she going to drive? And one for Mini Hubnut, what's his dream car?
Yeah, that was discussed.
I assume they discussed those.
So there we go.
That brings us to the end of the questions. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you very much for your continued support, everybody. It
Indeed,
is
thank you.
greatly appreciated.
Yeah,
as I hope you know.
I will hopefully have remembered how to put a link to how to become a channel member below this video.
I love when you do that. I'm going to put a picture here.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this here.
Yeah, and then it appears on telly and it doesn't happen.
No, I know.
Yeah.
On your laptops and stuff it does, but on the television it
on
doesn't.
television it doesn't. So I'll hopefully do that. Or there's Patreon if you prefer, or if you just want to give us a one-off donation to show some love, you can head to the Hubnut store and you can not purchase something. There is a donate option, or you can just buy.
Or you
something.
can buy stuff.
Yeah, we've got loads of lovely stuff. I mean, these plum hoodies have proved quite popular. The Powerless is more plum hoodie. It's a really nice looking thing. I'm really pleased with them.
It is
And
nice.
we've got grey Fleet t-shirts. Fleet may be subject to change, so
have
it could be a limited edition.
Pink chamois t-shirts.
We have pink
We
chamois.
have black chamois t-shirts.
Yep.
We have children's size chamois t-shirts.
In
And
bright
some of the
orange.
little ones were wearing them at the Hubnut social, and they're in an orange. Well, it's not bright orange, it's kind of a burnt orange, isn't
Okay,
it?
a soft orange.
And it was such a joy to see the little ones
Yeah,
wearing them. I was so pleased.
As well as stickers, mugs and the usual stuff.
I thought you were going to put tat or something on
No, I wasn't going to put tat. It's not tat.
a
It's quality
high
item.
quality merchandise.
High
It is high quality merchandise.
And
we work hard on that.
we have changed how we do the post, I'm afraid. We actually got the post collected from home. So there are no more trips to the post office, which is a little bit sad in some ways. We kind
Should
of
we
miss
just
that.
drive around the village and send everybody an email?
Yeah, we'll just drive your items around for no apparent reason in various members of the fleet. But yeah, it's improved things for us a bit.
No, it's not so much it improved things for us. It's actually improved the speed of the service from the postal perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just gives a slightly different way of getting our items to you, but it seems to be working really well. So we will be extending that. We will try and send stuff to Germany. I know we haven't for ages. We need to do a trial.
Are you asking for a guinea pig?
Yeah, we may need a guinea pig to send stuff to Germany, but we haven't had many bounce backs since we did this new style. I think because the printouts are all different. We're not handwriting the addresses anymore. Maybe that's helping.
There's no question mark as to the labelling because it's their labelling.
Yeah, it is
There
Royal
is no
Mail
question
labelling.
mark.
So yeah, hopefully that improves things. But anyway, thank you ever so much, and we shall see you in a future video. Bye. It was really difficult to do.
Castle.
Look, castle. There's a castle.